Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Onward Master League Season 6, Week 8. My name is NightFiree. I'm here with my co-caster, Noman with a 4. How are you, sir?
Fantastic. Honestly, fantastic, because I'm excited for this game. It's going to be a really fun game to watch. How about you? How you doing this Sunday morning?
I'm excited. It's a very hyped up match. You know, a lot of clamor in the community Discord for this one to be cast, and it is Danglers versus Silent Purge, a matchup in the Button Cup. Now, for those not familiar, this is it's sort of like a NA-EU crossover, or is it West versus East? I don't even really know, I guess.
No, it's a NA versus EU. Okay. You had it right the first time.
So the hype there is actually quite thick. A lot of speculation on whether EU talent is up to snuff in comparison to NA, and I think there's been some pretty good arguments for EU, if I'm not mistaken. They've been winning some matches. I haven't really been paying too much attention to the overall rankings, though.
Yeah, I think we've only had a couple of games so far, but yeah, I'm definitely not up to speed on the full set. Though I have seen, yesterday there was a game in the morning between the Vikings and the Great Apes, and the Vikings took that one handily. So I could definitely see that there is that argument for EU in the lead so far.
That is very true. I see a lot of the Button Cup matches still TBD, still unscheduled. But yeah, we do have a few coming today. Legionnaires and Virtual France Phone should have played already today. And we're having Danglers, Silent Purge, and then later on in the night is Blaze Lemon Squad. That's all the Button Cup. Oh, also G-Men vs. Boss Fight. So a couple.
Actually, Blaze Lemon Squad I think is next.
Oh, next week, and so is G-Men vs. Boss Fight.
Yeah.
So the Button Cup matches kind of spread out here and there, I suppose. Then we'll be seeing them. We'll be seeing them throughout the season. Kind of nice to have them, I guess. It's always good competition, and I think they count towards MMR.
They absolutely do, yes.
Yeah, so these teams definitely can't just give away any of these maps. Talking of maps, we'll hop into the war room and discuss pick bans. Coming out of Silent Purge, the ban is Hanker. Coming out of Danglers, the ban is what was it? Downfall.
Okay, interesting band picks, though not necessarily surprising. Two of the most, as far as I can tell, banned maps for a lot of these teams. Tanker, not a shock to me. Very, very small map, very difficult. Lots of background noise to deal with, as well as tight corridors, and the use of night vision throws off people's loadouts. I imagine there's a lot of reasons people don't want to play it, and Downfall as well is sort of the opposite of that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't really see that Downfall ban happening very often. I think it's sort of people just leave it there as a potential third map or something late on to play. I think we actually are ready to go. And the map we're going to be hopping into is going to be Bazaar to kick things off.
One of the most fun maps to watch, to play, to cast, I think. So many little windows and corridors and entryways into every objective. And we'll be seeing the mini market objective in the Northwest being the first one. Could go either way. And between these two teams, I'm not going to be surprised if we see quite the battle.
Curious to see what kind of strategies we have. The common argument is EU teams tend to play a little slower. Silent Purge is your EU squad here. Danglers on the NA side, so we'll see what kind of gameplay we get out there. They're starting off on the defense, so we'll see if they get anything aggressive like we were seeing yesterday with SMC Tactical really getting aggressive on Volk.
Yeah, that is definitely an understatement. Aggression was number one in that match for SMC, and I would be surprised if Danglers doesn't do something similar. And we're going to see them pushing up through that center street towards Bazaar. Stumping up, bringing the shield.
Yeah, and you know what I've been seeing lately is this head-high shield tactic where you use walls to cover your lower torso and then your shield to cover the upper torso, and you can kind of sprint to locations you may not normally feel comfortable sprinting to. Stumpy's now on this corner already.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that a lot more in league play. I'm seeing that from my team as well as other teams. Definitely a good strategy. I have a hard time killing those runners.
I think it's also just something to mention right off the bat. We're on the old build. Nothing new here coming out. None of the new patch stuff. So, you won't see any new weapon loadouts or anything like that quite yet.
I do want to point out Stumpy's actually running the taser and the shield.
Yeah.
Not just the shield.
I guess that is one of the not new anymore. It just doesn't come out very often in league play. It's a one shot and you're done. So if you miss it, you're kind of hosed. Stumpy is playing this a little. I mean, this is interesting coming out of Danglers, a taser in the button cup match.
Yeah, I don't know if they're overestimating or underestimating their opponents here, but I'm curious to see how he does it. And there's a call out on Stumpy, and unfortunately, he won't get to use it this round.
Look at that nade on the corner. Rybo sitting on it. Stragic with the confirm. 2 go down just like that. Plinus might get the refrag on the backside. He does find Stragic, but not before Stragic can get himself another.
Actually, UC Death was the one that picked that one up on that little market side. UC Death now rotating to objective. They're staying tighter than I would have expected. Jay taking down Plinus in that change room across from the objective building, and we're down to a 1v4. All up to Nintendo there in the southwest.
UC Death has kind of abandoned the defense here as he starts to peek out again. UC Death in the middle of the street wins the trade. Super fortunate.
Nintendo not without his wounds, however. He was hit by that volley of bullets, and now he's choosing to rotate around, which is the right call.
Yeah, Bucks, our fellow co-caster, getting the res on UC Death. Okay if I don't say his full name, right?
I believe that's how that curse works. We'll have to check with our voodoo witch doctor, but
yeah, I suppose we haven't really gone over rosters. We'll pop into those after this round, but you can kind of see who's on the floor here. Nintendo, the final member of Danglers. This is going to be tough. The defense is tight.
Yeah, they've got every angle covered. There's no way that Nintendo can get in unnoticed. So he's going to have to really make use of the equipment, maybe scavenge some bodies, grab some smokes, find some picks. He's got plenty of time to work with right now. Just under 3 minutes, and definitely possible to make some form of an inroad, but that defense is not going to give up an inch without a fight.
Got a lot to overcome. I think his best option here, pushing in through mini market and trying to find the picks there. Kind of spread out there. If he can get Jay, he has some options available to him. It's still going to be tough, but that's the route he has. 2 minutes left, not a lot of time.
Jay's position is difficult to cross that street from, simply because then you can see it here in the defense. UC Death is watching that position like a hawk, and Kev is watching the street cross as well as that northern approach. So he'd have to catch Kev looking in the other direction, and UC Death on a rotation to really be able to sneak in there. And I don't see that happening here.
UC Death has started to move. Jay's not being quiet either. He's crouching around. I think did he grab that shield? No, the shield's just clanking in the corner.
And I'm surprised no one's picked up that shield just yet. That's a great tool for the defense these days. You can prop that shield up against a wall and use it as temporary cover. And I'm surprised that no one's been able to capitalize on that, though I suppose the position of it is a little dangerous to run out to and pick up.
I wonder if that's even sort of camouflaging some audio cues for Jay. You hear that shield clanking around, maybe lets Nintendo slip up on a step or two, but you're going to get real close here. Can Jay get seen through that window? I think he... Yeah, it's going to be real hard to peek that. Nintendo's just...
No.
Yeah, he's going to
That does not seem like a very simple corner to check, but Nintendo may be aware that someone's in there. And it looks like he is watching that direction. He is peeking that corner, and the trade comes out, and Silent Prairie take that round with a very tight defense.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, Danglers getting a little bit over-aggressive there with their forward 3 going down so early. And they kind of left Silent Purge with some easy picks, and they were lucky that they didn't lose that round a lot earlier with that rotation out into the middle of the street from Nintendo.
Yeah, it was definitely 1 bullet away, 2 bullets away from ending that round very early, but at least they had a chance there to do something, and see if they can turn it around here on defense.
Taking a gander at the KDs, Strajic and Jay doing well. Buxton with a revive and no deaths, so we can't be judging him quite yet.
Well, we can, just
True.
just not publicly,
Yes.
just not out loud.
Internally.
So, just internalize all of it. And just to quickly go over the roster before the game kicks off here, we've got Danglers running Riboman, Nintendo, Plenus, Stumpy, and Mexecutioner. And on the Silent Purge side, we've got Buxton, Jay, UC Death, Kev, and Strajack. The starting lineup for today.
Doesn't seem like anything out of the ordinary on either one of the squads. I think, well, I guess, it's Plenus, yeah.
Plenus would be the, I guess you would say unusual addition, but he is relatively fresh out of the Legionnaires and onto the Danglers roster.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't getting caught up on that, but yeah, we were talking about that yesterday with these roster changes. Some motivation from the squad, and we'll see if Danglers can grab themselves a Volk defensive round.
Yep, and they are whistling while they work as they move into the little market objective and the changing kill rooms across the street and take up relatively forward positions, but nothing too aggressive just yet. Stumpy Nub pushing all the way out into the east side of the Northwest Courtyard to watch that bazaar.
Kind of seeing a bit more of a slower paced play from the EU team here. Right about now we had a shield bearer on the corner. Jay's still sitting back by cement, kind of waiting to see if anything's going to happen. I think he may be concerned about that sickness peaking spot. You know, we had yesterday SMC Tactical finding a couple of picks on that corner. That's where Jay's kind of dialed in right now.
Yeah, and that's definitely a common corner. There's also the stall in the far back west that you could sort of press your body up next to and stay relatively hidden. Definitely a common spot. I really love the positioning here of Silent Purge. They've got this, if you look at the overhead map, this diagonal line cutting the map in half, basically. And it's a great way to move up and coordinate and make sure you're clearing, everybody's flanks at the same time. And let's see if they can keep that sort of formation as they move in on the objective here.
Playing it pretty slow. They have 4.5 minutes left. Still haven't really quite crossed that midpoint. I guess their closest member, Jay, up on that corner. Stumpy's going to have his hands full here in a second. Jay's coming up this route. They have Kev, UC Death on the 2-story.
Yeah, and Stumpy's playing a relatively aggressive form of that defense. Usually you'll see people maybe inside of that dark alleyway just outside the building or on the backside in one of the doorways looking at the exits on that Northwest Courtyard. But he's actually choosing to be in the doorway, which may work out for him, may not. Jay is going to be coming in close.
I wonder if he heard Jay. Seems like he's dialed in there. Jay's trying to find any shots through those tiny little cracks in the cement bricks. Yeah, they have to really play this conservatively. Kevin, UC Death also dialed in over here. Stumpy does find one. Now the rotation. Kev, UC Death don't get the refrag. And he immediately drops back after he finds that early pick.
And I heard a call out actually after that shot rang out. Buxton calling out that Stumpy Nub is likely in that Northwest Courtyard. So it looks like the teams are doing their homework and aware of these positions.
Oh, he spotted the head through that crack. He almost picked him off in the window.
One more.
The information being conveyed, so they have an idea of where some more Silent Purge team members are.
Stray Jack here, coming up in a really interesting and open position towards the objective. Not likely to find anybody sitting out exactly, but Nintendo is going to be the closest to him, and Stray Jack is dialed into that window as well, or sorry, that room as well, looking for whoever might be sitting there.
Kind of needs the support of Buxton over here, but I mean, 2.5 minutes left. Something's gonna. The moves are gonna start to happen here. The smokes are gonna have to come out, and that's I think what Buxton's prepping. He's gonna smoke out his lane and maybe try and cross out here. They do have one covering Buxton's rotation.
A great smoke, 2 smokes from Stray Jack there coming out to block Nintendo and Rybo's views. More Nintendo than Rybo at this point, but I think we are going to see some sort of an advance here. Pleen is taking down Buxton in that southwest wall location as he tries to rotate out. And we're down to a 4v2. Scratch that, a 3v2 as Stray Jack picks up Rybo and Nintendo gets the refrag on Stray Jack as he crosses the street through that smoke. We're down to a 3v1, and it's all up to UC Death to try to salvage a Marsoc round for Silent Purge.
What the heck?
What just happened there? There was a revive.
Plenus went to heal himself as UC Death downed him, and he revived himself.
Wow. I have never
No,
seen that before.
I haven't ever seen that either.
That might be a miracle in the making. If anybody is in the Twitch chat and was able to see that and clip it, that would be a great addition. Holy moly, what a lucky time to heal yourself.
2 good on-point smokes. Nintendo is going to be easily able to deny a cross here if UC Death doesn't rotate around the long way. Plenus actually grabbing those smokes and chucking them away.
Wow, his throw of that smoke is relatively impressive as it lands on a ledge on the other side. Not important to the gameplay, but quite a throw anyway. UC Death now coming down that northwest
25
street.
seconds. Not a lot of time left. Plenus tucked in the corner. UC Death may be able to find one, but he can't. Plenus grabs him out of the smoke, and Danglers go up 1-1. Or tie it, rather. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jeez. Thoroughly, all right?
It absolutely is.
Not really.
And I'm
It's like
kind of
middle
still
of
in
the
shock.
afternoon.
It's early for whoever just woke up in the early afternoon. I am shocked at that revive situation.
Yeah, that was...
So,
And considering he got the final... Considering he got the refrag there at the end, too, he refragged himself, which is really interesting.
yeah, that is definitely a first.
He was falling. His body was falling as he was syringing himself. I saw his body like go limp for a second, and then it popped back up. Like he didn't even hit the ground fully before he died.
Wow. That's interesting. I hope that doesn't become a strat. I hope people aren't running around with needles stuck to their arms while they try to get kills. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting play to see in the second round of this game. I'm going to be surprised if anything tops that for the rest of this game.
Yeah, I don't think that was a... I don't know if I would call that a play either. I think that was purely luck.
Oh, no. Absolutely. I'm just saying I hope it doesn't become a thing.
Oh, yeah. Would be, I
as
think quite the
result.
frame perfect.
I can already see how many lobbies pop up after this game and people just running around testing that.
Trying to get the revive.
If I throw the needle in the air and then he shoots me.
It comes down and hits me in the leg. And...
and we're going to get into round 3 here with Silent Purge defending the south center room objective. And we'll see if we see that same offense with the shield come out from the Danglers, or if they decide to change it up. Stumpy is running the shield, so I have confirmed that that is going to be the same.
Tossing out an early smoke too. That's something you'll typically see with nade wielders, is they'll have smokes in hand ready to go. I think he has another one prepped as well. And shots coming out. Jay's pushed up quite aggressively here. He may be able to find some early picks if they're not ready for him.
And I'm not sure they'll be expecting him, but he does decide to run out and gets tasered by Stumpy. Oh. No tablet hack, however. Although that would have been pretty incredible to see.
I mean, if you think about it, the taser isn't a terrible choice. It's just a one-hit. You have one shot. It is a one-hit, one-kill, though. So if you have the shield and you want to flick shot somebody, it's not a bad thing to use. It's just you have to land your shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And he does there, and I'm surprised they didn't go for a tablet hack in this button cut match and try to get some more information on this Silent Purge match. Try to take a offense around Stray Jack, picking up Plenus as he aggressively moves into that blue room L building.
Information for Stumpy, though. He now knows there's someone in there. He's got a rifle in hand as well, so he's ready to flick shot anybody. Nintendo finds Kev. Stumpy rounds the corner with shield out, and Stray Jack sees that. He's peeking. Nice shots over the shoulder. Rybo grabs him. Stumpy with the res. We're into a 4v1 right now. The confirm on UC Death. It's all up to Buxton on objective.
Yeah, the wall of the Danglers is moving in. You can see them, one on the north side, one on the south side, two right across from objective, and Stumpy finishes that off with the flick shot of the AKM.
Wow. That was a very strong... That was a completely different Danglers offense from last round. They were much more coordinated there. Grenades and shots on point. The taser coming through. That was something.
Yeah, great plays all around. And that Silent Purge defense seemed a little scattered there for the intro of that match. They kind of ran around a couple different spots. Were trying to rotate to cover after Jay, I believe, went down initially. And I think they never really got settled, never found their lanes to watch, and Danglers capitalized on it.
Stumpy Nub 4 and 2 that round. He was definitely getting some good kills. I think he picked up 3, right? Taser shot, one, and no, he didn't get the blue room kill. That was a shot over his shoulder, but
yeah, that was Rybo picking that one up. But still, two kills, one with the taser, and then one a headshot with a flick of the shield. Very, very strong play by Stumpy that round.
That was, yeah. Flick shot has really become a developed strategy you see on some of these, on most high-level teams. There's some player out there that's really good at it on the squad, and Stumpy definitely Dangler's shield bearer, so to speak. He's got that flick shot dialed in.
Yeah, and surprising that he's got it so well dialed in after the shield has undergone a few changes on the last couple of patches. Initially, it was pretty heavily nerfed. The movement speed of the shield was nerfed so that you couldn't jump between frames, and then it was lightened up a little bit, and it's sort of in that state now. But yeah, Stumpy has definitely put in the hours and figured that out very well. And we're going to kick off round 4 here of map 1. Danglers on defense.
Getting those mirrored spawns, but pretty much a completely different approach. Silent Purge opting for a bit of a, what I would consider a slower route if they're going to go all the way around to the other side of the map and then push from there. Can you see Death getting up here early and quite sure they're definitely opting to take more middle bazaar than pushing east or west.
Stumpy taking a pretty aggressive position actually across the street from the objective at the Citizen building. Likely going to be running into Buxton and Kev here shortly if he decides to peek the corner. It may pay off for him.
Oh my gosh, he's getting aggressive. He didn't spot Kev just as he crouches into that window. Kev pops up. Does he spot him out of that little window? I don't think he did.
I'm not sure how they didn't see each other. They were looking in that direction. Kev's looking at him now, and the trade does come out. Both headshots, both members down. We're down to a 4v4.
Like the good old days.
Perfect trade.
Ooh, another trade as well. East goes down. Now we're into a 3v3.
That's 4 headshots in a row for those of you paying attention, and both of them trades. Impressive shooting on both sides. exactly what I would have expected to see from these two teams. No
Yeah.
slouches.
Buxton trying to find some shots from that two-story position. It is a favored one and pretty frequently visited. I'm surprised that he's still peeking that now, considering there's probably someone in objective, but safe. Now he's in kill room. He's going to have a tough time coming out of there. Executioner has his eyes dialed in over here.
Yeah, and Plenus is still watching from that window, looking for that same cross now that he knows the bullets came from that direction. And callouts have gone out to his team, and one of the reasons Mex is watching that side, I imagine.
Well, they can't really afford to invest 2 of their 3 defensive members left on just Buxton, though. UC Death here and Strayzek, they're going to slowly start to inch their way close to objective. I mean, look at UC Death. He has a pretty dang good vision onto the objective from there through that wood crate.
Yeah, they're going to need to really utilize those smokes, block off that blue room view, block off the objective room view, and try to make some sort of an inroad. Ribo Man taking the bait here, looking for those bullets coming out from Strayjack towards objective.
Strayjack making his move now. Ribo's pretty much the only one defending this. If they can get him out of blue room, the converging potential really escalates for Silent Purge. They can collapse on a Plenus and Mex.
They've got plenty of time to do it. I think they know that, and that's why they're taking their time here, trying to move up bit by bit.
Kind of see Danglers starting to get a little antsy. No shots fired, some rotations happening. Plenus almost getting caught out by Strayzek as he ran over that window. Ribo's sort of dancing around too, and this can kind of cost you a life if you don't just hold your angles.
Yeah, and Strayjack is moving dead silently here. He did just hear the footsteps by Ribo, looking in that direction now. Not likely to find him just yet, but Ribo needs to be careful with how much noise he's making.
How much longer they're going to wait. 2 minutes left now on the clock. Buxton still not in much of a position to push towards objective.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he didn't take the better part of that minute and a half to rotate out maybe towards the east side and regroup with his teammates. I'm not sure what his goal is there.
He dropped back to scavenge a couple of smokes. He has 3 in total to completely smoke out this this lane. He botches that third smoke, though. I don't know if it's going to do him any good. I think he should be able to cross here. Plenus may have an angle.
It might rush in from the east, too.
No, he doesn't. Buxton's across, and now the push is happening. Smokes on objective. Strays are coming in. Ribo finds him. UC Death's up next. He gets caught out by Plenus. Now Buxton all by himself.
And Executioner does pick up Buxton at the end there. And wow, that was a very clean defensive pickup on those 3 players. Each one got 1 kill, each one from the lane they were watching, and pretty textbook, I'd say.
I mean, that was a really strong defensive hold. That was a good push, I'd say, from Silent Purge. They had the smokes timed perfectly. Buxton putting 3 out onto that street to allow him to cross, and he does get across. They're smoking on objective. If they had taken control of blue room, that push could have been drastically different, but you know, they just managed to hang on there inside, and Ribo Man picking up 2 there, I think, sort of saving the squad.
I think it was 1 for Plenus, 1 for Ribo, 1 for Mex.
Oh, you're right.
Plenus
Plenus caught him before he came in.
Yeah, but I mean, great watching that angle. Great pickups by all 3 of them. The coordination on defense is impressive to see. Especially considering that Silent Purge push was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Off to a pretty good series here. Silent Purge is a must-win, obviously, but it is a Volk defensive round, so they can pick this one up and sort of keep themselves into the map.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do so. This objective, well, actually, maybe I have to doctor my statement a little bit. If they can get Stumpy under control, this is definitely a winnable objective. However, this is one of the most capped objectives I think I've seen from the Danglers. They're very strong at pushing this. They've got great equipment usage, and I think we're going to see some of that here.
Popping into our 5th round. No caps have come out yet, and we haven't really been too close to any. Kind of just been a all-out firefight. A lot of early trades. Wonder if we'll have any of those this round.
I think this objective spawn is definitely good for that, as early bullets coming out from Buxton towards Ribo's position.
Kev also peeking here on the corner, looking for Ribo. Max trying to toss out a smoke early and kind of botches that. These are really early smokes. Usually when smokes come out, it means movement's coming. You only have so much time on those smokes, so.
That grenade almost catching UC Death at the fountain, but rolls just a little too long. It doesn't quite make it. Smokes on his position, however, going to make his angle pretty ineffective here as Danglers rush in on this east side. All 5 members.
Wow, yeah, they are pushing hard and heavy. Kev here has his hands full. He's tucked into this corner. I think they have an idea. He's there. Stumpy peeks up, tases him. He's down instantly. The whole squad left. Max picks up another. Danglers looking good here in a 5v3 as they converge onto objective.
And UC Death trying to utilize that position. Mexicutioner's got the tab out. He's going for the cap. Clean is covering. Stray Jack trying to rotate in from the north side, but not likely that he's going to make it inside before the cap comes out. He's in the room, and Plinus does pick him off.
Wow, Danglers with a dominating Bazaar performance. Grab the cap and go up 5-1. I guess kind of jinx the team here talking about caps as that one rolls out.
Yeah, not entirely surprising. That was a great push by Danglers. That was a great pickup by Stumpy in the Northwest Bazaar area, and then his team just sort of steamrolled their way through that Bazaar entrance. And I feel like their goal there was a cap. I don't think that they wanted to win that by kills. I think that definitely looked like a calculated cap.
I mean, I think that's the first 2 tases I've seen successful in league play. So I don't think I've ever seen a tase happen.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen one.
Have you had
either.
one happen
No,
to you? I can't think.
I have not yet been tased, nor I have seen one.
I mean, what the heck, man? We're seeing 2 come out today. It's like, it's not a bad strategy for the shield bear. It's really not. I mean, it's a 1-hit kill. You don't have to, and it's 1 hit anywhere, you know? If you touch their body, they're down instantly, so.
Yeah, it's definitely a great opportunity for teammates to hack tablets as well, which is another thing that I have not seen. I'm surprised that when that first tase came out from Stumpy on that center objective, that he opted to finish off that member of Silent Purge rather than grab the tablet and take a look at where the defense positions may be. But yeah, like you said, it's anything that's 1-hit kill or down, can't be bad. Yeah. It's definitely surprising we don't see more of it.
Absolutely, and I think our second map is going to be Quarantine, which will be really exciting. Curious to see after a quick Bazaar series if we'll have a bit more of an even balanced Quarantine matchup.
Yeah, and I definitely am curious to see what the loadouts are going to be here. I'm not expecting a shield, but I hope I'm wrong. Those are always exciting and fun plays. And I think it'll depend on the mix of objectives we get, but yeah, I'm looking forward to some great plays on both sides here. Okay. Yeah, and this Quarantine map is definitely a league favorite these days. I've seen this a lot in a lot of the matches that are cast and a lot of the matches that are just on the VRML site. Quarantine's, I think, one of the more popular maps. How do you feel about it, Knight?
I just think it's a very solid competitive map. There's lots of opportunity if you're Volk or Marsoc for flanking, for outplays. There's different routes you can take for every objective. You're not really shoehorned into going one way or another. You typically have a couple of different options. So I think it just tends to be picked up into these in the league play because it's a relative. I feel like it's a balanced map, and it just has opportunity for both teams to succeed. Obviously, some teams feel a lot more confident on this map than others. So curious to see how Silent Purge face off against Danglers as we hop into our first round on Quarantine.
Yeah, and I think one of the best things about this map is that there is a good mix of verticality as well as long-range sniper lanes. There's a lot of places you can kind of get a little bit of overwatch on the map, but there's also places where you can sort of nestle into a corner and watch a long corridor, and that's kind of rare to see on maps. Really in any game, but in Onward specifically, you tend to see more of one than the other. And we're going to see Danglers trying to cross that south street. Riboman is going to make it after some pretty well-placed smokes by his team. And we see two defenders sitting on objective, Executioner in the motel, and Polinas rotating around to watch that rooftop.
That's a really heavy investment to cross that street there in utility. I think that's 4 smokes I spot there, so they got him across. He's there defending, but they don't really have much frag or flash options. I guess you don't really need those if you're defending.
Yeah, that's usually the I think the defensive choice is smokes, especially on Quarantine. I don't think it's the same on maps like Cargo, for example. I think you may want to run a flash there or even a frag. But on Quarantine, just because of these long sight lines that I just mentioned, you definitely want to have a way to be able to cross without just giving the enemy team a free kill.
Yeah, we're talking about long sight lines. Ribo definitely, if he pops up here, peeking all the way down to rubble. Wants to catch anybody out. He's staying pretty conservative, though. He hasn't popped up at all. He's just crouching there. I wonder if he's just going to wait a couple of minutes before he peeks up.
Yeah, I think he knows he doesn't need to. I mean, this offense has been slow in the rounds in Bazaar, and I think they're expecting that same sort of methodical approach from them. So no reason to jump out and get your head shot off when there's not likely something you can do about it just yet.
Yeah, and I mean, I think just kind of go back on that defensive smoke. It's just funny to think now that we're in a time of change for the game, when smokes came out, that I don't think anybody ever considered them as an option for defense. You know, nobody was thinking I'm going to use a smoke to block my vision as I'm defending, and now it's a pretty common state. You know, you see teams using it pretty effectively to get into unique positions. So I think we'll see a lot of new stuff coming out in the next few weeks with this new patch that's been introduced.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to make for some really exciting play.
It's not what we're going to have quite yet here. Probably another minute and a half until any action occurs as Silent Purge, the EU team, they're playing into the hand that EU plays slower.
Yeah, and you know, no one here is surprised. I think we all expected some form of methodical approach from the Silent Purge side, and I think that on Quarantine, it's one of the maps that could definitely pay off.
Buxton putting a little suppressive fire up on that 2-story. I wonder if he saw a peek there from Ribo, or if he was just putting rounds there because they knew he crossed earlier.
Yeah, my bet is on likely having seen him cross. There was a small gap in the smokes on that far south side, so they may have seen him cross, and I think Buxton just doesn't want him peeking up. So I'm surprised his teammates aren't utilizing that opportunity to push up a little bit more aggressively. Kev actually rotating back on that south side away from Ribo's position.
Strajak finding some shots out there. He's rotated quite nicely around this north side. He's the only member north on Silent Purge. If he can draw some attention, it could lead the rest of that team to be able to push in. 2-minute rolls around, and it seems to be pretty much the Silent Purge's mark for attack.
And Executioner here is going to see Strajak as he rotates down. No, actually, he pops out of the window a little too early, but there he is as he rotates back, picks up Strajak on that north side.
Definitely a clutch pick for them. Rybo is still in a very key position, and now he started to peek up and looking for any action as the smokes are rolling out. 1:30 on the clock. I don't think he's aware of Kev flanking him here. If Buxton can distract him, Kev's going to have a clear shot on the back, and he does. Down goes Rybo. Now it's a 4v3. Silent Purge looking good on the approach.
Yeah, and I'd venture to say that Nintendo and Stumpy are in a relatively disadvantaged situation. Most people on the approach to this objective would be aware of the presence of people in that HQ, and Kev downs Nintendo as I say that, upstairs, leaving Stumpy on the objective by himself.
Does find one, though. Managed to grab Buxton on that push. Kev's still dialed in here. Stumpy has to be careful. He can't peek out too far. Does get caught out. Instantly confirmed. Executioner has to get up here quick. He's the last one alive. The cap is starting to roll out from UC Death. He's out in the open. He's punching in the code. Jay's not going to land the frag down. Silent Purge are going to go up 2-0.
Got to get that code in quick. Jay's got to defend. And just in time, Jay sacrifices his life for that cap, slowing up Executioner just enough not to make that corner. And the cap comes out from Silent Purge, and there's that benefit to the slow approach on this quarantine map that I was talking about. It's definitely one of the maps that if you take your time and you find your picks and you find your opportunities, you work with your team, things like that can happen.
That is a huge answer back for Silent Purge. Exactly what they needed after going down 5-1 on Bazaar. And you're right, that timed approach working out very well for them. The smokes all coming in just at the right time, and they had 41 seconds left, so the clock did get relatively tight there. But those picks from Kev were so clutch.
Absolutely, and the rotations by Nintendo and Stumpy in that HQ building were very aggressive. They were hoping to get those picks. You saw at the end there, Stumpy had rotated out to try to pick up the approaching members from that south street, and that's what got him caught out by Kevin. I think when it comes down to that, you got to play tight on the objective. You gotta stay close. You gotta not peek. Otherwise, you may get punished, and that's what happened in this case.
Got ourselves a bit of a series here. I was worried Danglers with that momentum. We're going to keep riding it into this map. We'll see if they can do anything on Marsoc, if they can answer back. But this objective's hard to cap on, in my opinion. I'm so surprised to see that Mex let it happen. You know, it's just like the worst case scenario to have that member alive on the north.
It's definitely surprising that he didn't rotate when he did,
Yeah.
especially when they lost that south side. That's usually around the time you want to get out of that perch and start moving in on objective. And Silent Purge is going to be tossing out a couple of smokes for that cross as well. Total of 5 coming out in direction. Relatively good coverage, though they won't have coverage on that far south side.
Yeah, they have no coverage on the exit.
Yeah, which is dangerous for Bucks and Jay as they try to cross the street here. Bullets coming out. Don't manage to... Oh, they do manage to find Jay in the back. Rybo with that great shot. It's just a down unconfirmed for right now.
He's trying to confirm it. Finally lands the confirm shot. Stumpy's pushing up super fast, too. Look at him. He's already up onto this building here. He may be able to flank. No, he doesn't. He's going to tuck inside here.
Yeah, and we're seeing pretty much a mirror defense as well. We're seeing the same exact defense. The only difference here is that Buxton had rotated with Jay to the south rather than go to the north like Plenus had when the Danglers were defending. And Stumpy tosses out a smoke towards the objective, likely to cause some panic.
That is such a good smoke. UC Death's going to grab that and relocate it, though, wisely.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe not. He's just watching that tight angle. He says, I'm going to use that smoke as cover. In your face, offense. Stumpy and Rybo moving up together. Everybody's watching everybody's backs.
They have that advantage now. They managed to grab that real early pick. Stumpy's trying to find some more in the middle, or maybe he's trying to fire over on north.
Yeah, I think he's going to be wanting to check that HQ stairwell, but so far Silent Purge not being aggressive with their defense. They're sticking to their angles, and something to be said for that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can peep over at Buxton. I think he's probably got one of these stronger positions for defense. I don't know if anybody is going to be expecting him back here, considering maybe they think they got the crosser. You know, they got that one pick, so.
I did just hear a call out on the Stumpy side that there may be one in Dune, so I think they did see 2 cross, so they may be aware of his position.
Yeah, they definitely do need to shut that spot down. It's a good Overwatch position right onto objective. Oh, yeah, they know he's there. The shot's nearly missing his head.
And great shots by Rybo as well, because he is shooting through the building all the way to the other side of the dunes, trying to pick Buxton off. Not an easy shot to make.
Interesting that he's kind of abandoned. Looking at him, is there sort of a few suppressive shots? They don't see him there anymore. They're just going to move off of it.
Oh, it's like the bombing of Dresden here. A bunch of frags coming out towards the objective. Stray Jack and UC Death, though, like statues, not moving, waiting to get those picks.
Norris down.
Tendo downs Kev.
Little refrag there. Yeah, a couple of shots coming out. UC Death now getting a little over aggressive. He goes down. Stray Jack will get that res off. Buxton gets picked off by Nintendo. We're into a 3v2. The only 2 left on objective. It's where you want to be, though.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw why you want to be there. Very important. I think they know that. Stray Jack downs Polinas as he tries to cross cement trucks to Motel. UC Death and Stumpy going to meet here. UC Death not aware of Stumpy's position just yet.
Oh, he hears that smoke, turns around to see a enemy there, and shots out. Nintendo goes down 2. UC Death.
Wow.
With the clutch Silent Purge round, they go up 3-0. They may be the ones answering back 4-0. Or 5-0 if they get a cap here.
Yeah, it would be quite the turnaround on the last round. Definitely waking up here.
No kidding. Well, I wonder if this is a map choice thing as well. I think if we look back, it was Danglers map pick onto Bazaar.
Correct, yes.
And so, obviously, each team playing strongly into their preferred map choice here.
Yeah, and UC Death right now, definitely the MVP of that Silent Purge team. He's got 1 cap, 5 kills. Obviously, he had some help with his teammates to get that cap. Jay sacrificing his life to slow down Mexicutioner just enough. And Mexicutioner on the Dangler side also not doing too bad with a 4-1. So both teams are, they're doing well. I think that they are having Danglers is having a bit of a timing issue. I think some of the timing has been a little bit off on their approaches. And I would not put it past them to correct that here and put up a good fight in this next round.
I feel like Silent Purge is just looking a lot better on their offense, too. They're seeming more, as a team, coordinated. Their smokes are coming out all at once. And I guess they were doing that last on Bazaar, but they just were letting up early picks here. And now
there was a few people left behind in Bazaar, I think, was something that they had struggled with. There was a few people who were not moving up with the rest of the team. I think Buxton was one of the members who was left behind on one of the pushes towards that mini market objective. So I think they're starting to find their stride here. I think their strategy for this map is a little bit tighter than Bazaar. And we are going to see this center tank courtyard objective. Polinas downing Kev right out the gate. And what a great shot that was out towards the gas station.
What kind of angle is that?
Right from objective. It's actually pretty impressive that he was able to get that sightline. Jay taking some shots out towards that smoke, but there's nothing in it.
Pure distraction, yeah. Ooh, Rybo on the roof, picking up Stray Jack. We'll be able to find some others. Actually tossing out a frag to confirm the kill too, but I don't think that would have been anywhere near the body. He doesn't need to anyway.
Yeah, and I believe Stray Jack was holding a frag at the time, so he had confirmed himself regardless.
Probably about to nade Rival Man on the roof.
Great timing on that. And so we're seeing the right kind of setup, where they have the right idea here on Silent Purge, but the line hasn't moved is sort of the problem. They're kind of now stuck in their spawn, and the defense is set. The defense looks to be expecting a more southerly push, so Buxton may be able to capitalize on the positioning of the Volk defenders here, as the rest of the team sort of has to make inches towards the objective on the south.
Managed to work his way behind their defensive line entirely. I mean, he's behind everybody. They don't have anybody here that's looking anywhere back, so... Oh, UC Death getting Executioner. Buxton, if he can grab this one by Tanker. Stumpy Nub completely out in the open. I'm surprised Bucks hasn't spotted him yet. There are the shots, and Stumpy goes down. That's 2 picked up right there, and Danglers in a tough spot with only 3 left alive.
Yeah, and Riboman now aware of Buxton's position. He's not being aggressive. He's sitting and waiting for it. Buxton is being loud on the radio. Riboman's just going to be patient here and wait to get a pick, but Buxton catches him underneath the pipe at that air conditioning unit. What a great shot by Buxton.
Man, that is a savvy shot right there to be able to shoot through there. That's such a tight angle and confirming the kill. Now there's only 2 left, and with this Overwatch position, this objective gets increasingly hard to defend.
Yeah, absolutely. And Buxton here is saying, I'm going to throw down a smoke. He throws a smoke down towards UC Death. It lands on the plane wing. Not sure if UC's going to be able to find it. Safely, that is. And what's impressive here is their Silent Purge is staying on comms. Buxton is calling out strategies. They're discussing how they're going to be moving through to this objective from their positions. It's great to see that kind of coordination, that kind of teamwork coming out of them, and it's definitely paying off. Smokes out from Jay on that center tank courtyard. Linus holding his position. Nintendo watching for the cross. Jay might get caught out here, but Nintendo comes around the corner a little too late and doesn't catch him, and Jay is into the courtyard just like that. Linus looking in that direction, however. Linus is going to be looking just a little off. I think he may spot Jay here.
Yeah, I got that foot out from the bottom of tank, and another tight angle paying off. It's into a 2v3. If they don't push right, they're going to have a tough time here. I mean, they have the advantages to pick off Plenus. Buxton, if you, I don't know, could just dial in some fire onto that corner, he could suppress him pretty well.
Yeah, and I think Nintendo is keeping an eye out for that cross again on the ambulance. Nope, unfortunately, he decides to rotate again, and Kev crosses the street again. Plenus goes down on objective from UC Death. Nintendo's the only one left alive.
Catches one. Can he get any more? Buxton on the corner, the trade, and Kev, the last one standing. Silent Purge go up 4-0. We're going down to the final map.
And not only are we going down to the final map, but we're going down with 2 maps where the opponents were not able to answer any of the points put up on that board.
Silent Purge had 1 on Bazaar.
Was it 1 on Bazaar? I thought it was 5-0. Does that make it? Maybe I'm crazy. I'm crazy. Still early on a Sunday, guys. Come on. Still, though, despite that, having put up 5 points against Silent Purge on Bazaar, Silent Purge then answers back immediately with a 4-0. Almost equally as devastating.
Yeah, we're as tied up as you can be here, 5-5 across the board. Going into this final map, the deciding map of the series. Been pretty good. I'm curious if we'll have a bit of a, I don't know. I don't expect a blowout by any means, but I do think this map may favor Danglers just based off of what we've seen. I think they're definitely a faster paced team. They kind of thrived in that close quarters, bizarre scenarios, and they didn't waste any time going in for the objective. I think the cap, they had like 3.5 or 4 minutes left when they got that cap, so they're definitely a fast team.
if Silent Purge can take up some tight angles that don't afford themselves the opportunity to get grenaded or flashed, and really, keep the ants out of their pants, as the saying goes, I think they might have a chance to catch some of the Danglers' offense out, as they do tend to be pretty aggressive here. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle. This is a strong map for Danglers.
I did say it was cargo, right?
I
We've just been talking about the map
so, but you did just now. So if anybody doesn't know, the map is cargo. And that is likely the choice of the Danglers as well. So not only are they strong on it, but they've also picked it, which says a lot in and of itself.
I don't know. So it's going to be a close one. Silent Purge definitely does have a lot of experience on this map, too. I feel like it's commonly picked against them. I've seen Buxton, Castmania Buxton round on Tanker.
Cargo. Tanker is not an option. This is old Tanker. That's what you say.
Every time I talk about the maps, I get confused. I get worried that I called Cargo Tanker at some point. Hard to avoid. Both teams ready up. Should be hopping into this final map. I don't know what to expect. We've had 2 blowouts. I don't know what's gonna happen here. This is kind of this is the exciting stuff, This is when the unexpected happens. You're unsure what you're gonna see. Diving into that last map, the first round.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna see some pretty good playing on both sides. And we do see Stumpy with that shield coming back out. I believe he is also running that taser again, which is this map, that choice makes sense.
Yeah.
Such small corridors, such small angles. You could definitely capitalize on that. We're going to see early shots coming out from Plenus towards that crossing position. Jay does manage to make it to the left-hand side towards the objective.
Ooh, Strayzek finding an Executioner down early. Stumpy pushing up very aggressively with the shield. Picks up Strayzek. He's going to go down, grab his rifle. Strayzek calling out. He takes the shots. Buxton. No, Kev rotating around. Stumpy hears those footsteps. Kev's right on the corner here. No, he wasn't ready. That tight angle.
Wow, and Rybo picking up Jay on the objective. Kev then getting the refrag very, very quickly and very clutch, because he would have had a very, very easy route to the objective from that point. UC Death the only one watching that.
About to say, Kev getting a little over-aggressive there. You're talking Silent Purge just needs to hold their tight angles, and that's what was paying off for them, as they had the advantage 3-2, but then Kev getting a little aggressive, tied up 2-2 now.
Yeah, we'll see if you see Death in that position. That's a very difficult position to spot out, and even more difficult to counter when you're on offense. And thinking UC Death has a really good opportunity to pick up Plenus here as he comes around that corner.
It's almost an angle that you have to have night vision to really spot him in, because you have that dark Volk camo tucked into a corner that's also pretty dang dark, and it's hard to spot.
Yeah, and it's definitely the most advantageous here. We'll see how Plenus decides to approach this. Smoke around that corner is going to be a very strong deciding factor on whether or not he can actually make that. And you see Death giving away his position, but setting some bullets towards Plenus, letting him know you're not just gonna walk in here.
Buxton also sort of dialed in there. Nintendo is going to have to be the saving grace. We want to look at the time here. We have had so many trades happen so early. 4 minutes on the clock. Nintendo has all the time in the world to crouch walk his way through this little tunnel area. Maybe get the flank off. It's what Plenus needs.
The flank is definitely effective on Buxton's position. I don't know about UC Death's. You're almost at a disadvantage when you're coming out of that tunnel trying to clear that spot, because... And as I say that, Plenus taking down Buxton in that center position. No need to flank him. And it's a 2v1 with just UC Death in that challenging to clear position.
They know he's there, too, because he shot at Plenus early. Plenus is rotating around. Mr. Death also getting a little antsy. He's starting to move. he's backed out of that corner spot. It kind of opens up potential for Nintendo to land a frag.
That may have been the right call. Plenus sending some bullets in that direction. Surprised he doesn't pick up Plenus through that crate. I don't know why you wouldn't just keep shooting bullets. The box there that Plenus was using for cover is definitely penetratable by bullets.
I think that's not common knowledge. I see Sickness taking up positions pretty frequently behind those boxes as well, going unpunished. Nintendo, the flank does finally pay off. Danglers go up 1-0.
And I'm surprised he got out of that strong corner position. There was really no way they were going to cross to objective. He still would have had the time to run up and stop a cap had he needed it. Yeah, I think that was a bit of a misplay on UC Death's side, but it's hard to say that when you're easy to say that when you're casting. Obviously not easy to say that when you're playing it.
That's what we're here for, to analyze and assess.
I am a computer. I will assess your game.
Assess games for follows. Believe it or not.
Speaking of which, thanks for everybody in the Twitch chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. I've seen a few clips come out. Glad you guys decided to join us on this chilly Sunday morning for a nice warm cup of kick-ass here.
Chilly.
In this
70 degrees and sunny outside right now, man. Perfect beach. It's a beach day.
It was like 54 when I woke up. It was that northern peninsula Bay Area weather that I did here.
Shouldn't be complaining. You're making a lot of people that are stuck in the Midwest very upset right now.
I don't even consider them when I about it, because I came from the Midwest and I've done my best to forget at night.
I did my stint too, man. We're out. We made it out. You know.
That's it. Yeah.
You either love it, you either love that sort of weather, or you just don't deal with it. And well, we don't have any of that on cargo as we hop into our second round. See what Silent Purge concoct up here as a strategy. I think Danglers may play a little aggressive on Volk, but I don't know. This is the deciding map. This is for all the entire series. Look at this, 5 smokes coming out too. Holy, 6, 7?
That would be 5 smokes, and they're very localized to that left side, so I'd be surprised if they weren't pushing up through that same area. Stray Jack getting very aggressive coming in. Just feet away from that objective, picking up Rybo Man as he comes out.
Ooh, Nintendo 2, the refrag from Plenus, a clutch one at that, but that's 2 Danglers in a tough spot. Stray Jack able to give out information, a frag from Stumpy, not airbursting quite soon enough, and Kev comes around the corner, picks up Plenus. Now he's in a position where he can tuck around and get a cap. Stumpy's worried about this. The rest of Silent Purge converging. They're playing this really fast and hard. Stumpy and Executioner are the last 2 to defend. It's a 3v2. Oh my gosh, Stumpy and Buxton just passing past each other. You see Death coming up behind Stumpy here. Stumpy's not going to be ready for this.
Yeah, I think if they move quickly together, Stray Jack's making those call-outs to his team. They should be aware of his position. You see Death does capitalize on that call. Take out Stumpy up. Silent Purge go 1-1 on this cargo map.
Whoa, that was a fast-paced EU push. Unexpected in my books, man. I would never think Silent Purge would play a cargo map at that pace, but I think I saw 5. I think you counted 5. There's another one they threw up into the center, and I mean they moved off of those well. They did not waste those smokes. They were right up past them and threw them very early.
No, definitely not. And actually, what had happened, I think, is a defensive smoke to make that cross. Actually worked in the favor of the offense there, because Plenus was able to, or would have been able to, find a line on Stray Jack before he made that second pick. But because of the smoke, he was not able to find it early enough, and Stray Jack was able to take 2 down quickly and give Silent Purge the advantage there.
Got ourselves an all-out brawl here. Wonder if Danglers... I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Again, I wasn't thinking Silent Purge would play that fast, but I wonder if they can ride momentum. Maybe even worried now they can play an aggressive Volk strat here.
I would be surprised to see that. I think they definitely knew they were going to shock the Danglers with a quick push like that. I don't think the Danglers were quite ready for that. They had, like I said, set up a pretty light defense in the far back, sort of expecting to take their time. And Silent Purge turned it around on them. I think that they're going to go back to sort of a slower watching their angles, especially after being punished for being overly aggressive in that first round.
They are tossing out a smoke. I think that maybe will let Strajek cross and get behind those barrels in the corner. That's a really good smoke, too, right on point. Oh, look at this. Kev's pushing up aggressively. Strajek, too.
And there are some smokes already on objective.
Oh.
Coming out.
Stumpy with the shield, saving him from that nade explosion, which was nicely placed into the entry of that door. Stumpy has night vision, too, something to note.
Riboman tosses a grenade out towards UC Death's position. Mech says, negative, I'm going to take that kill from you. And downs him. Making it a 5v4. A lot of frags coming out in this direction. Overthrown smoke there by Ribo, I believe.
Kev is tucked into this corner here. He could be a devastating factor if he peeks out. Ribo does find Bucks. It's a 5v3. Nintendo's not going to be ready for Kev. Kev does pick up one. Now it's his turn to push out. He's going to be looking for Plenus in room 2. He doesn't spot it.
And Jay is completely smoked out. He's not able to see Stumpy and Mexicutioner. Strajek, though, does see him and pick him up. Jay now close to objective, trying to deny that cap.
Kevin Plenus trading in the back. It's a 2v2 just like that. Ribo does rotate around. I think he's going to try and get the res off. He picks up Strajek first. Executioner now on the back end behind Jay. Picks up his gun. They trade. Danglers grabbed another offensive round. We're up 2-1.
Wow. Offensive round wins on cargo. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. This there's been some crazy offenses here so far.
Oh my gosh. It's like the confidence, you know? There's just so much confidence in the teamwork. These guys are moving up so well together as a squad. Both teams, Silent Purge and Danglers, they're just storming through, finding these picks and playing so aggressively. Another 4.5-minute round. We've cranked this series up, dude.
Dude, I think both teams said, you know what? I don't want your blowout. I don't respect your blowout. I'm gonna give you the hardest fight possible on this third map, and that's what we like to see in a series like this, especially when it's all tied up on score and series as well.
Now it is Silent Purge's turn. I wonder if we're going to see another intense move, intense, fast-moving squad here. I don't know. It's not their MO, dude. You know, they just typically play it slow. Even when I've watched Silent Purge play Cargo, I still feel like they've played it relatively slow and passive, but to see that fast play, I don't know what to expect here.
I think the pressure's on. I think if you are trading Marsoc rounds, I think the pressure to win the next Marsoc round is important, because if you fall behind and you lose one and the opposing team locks down a defense and an offensive round, you know, Danglers can close us out. They just got to win this one, just hold their defense. And if they can do that, then they've got at least 2 more rounds to be able to win it. So I think the pressure's on Silent Purge here to try to do that same Marsoc push. And we'll see if they have what it takes to get through the defense this time.
Round 4, match 3. We're deep into the Button Cup series here. If you are just tuning in, you've missed 2 maps, 2 blowouts. One going to Danglers 5-1, one going to Silent Purge 4-0. A bit of a tie ball game here. Look at this, a real aggressive defense from Danglers. Plenus pushing out the trade onto Kev. He goes down. Stumpy's getting up right into the face here. He's on the corner. Ribo finds Bucks. One going down there. Look at this push from Danglers.
Oh my goodness. That is the aggressive defense that I've seen from the Danglers before. Holy moly. I don't think Silent Purge even knows what happened.
I'm sorry if you didn't get a word in there, Noman. I was barely able to breathe. The action, the entire round going down in 25 seconds?
No, that's
17.
17 seconds. 17
a
seconds.
A 17-second defensive win.
Yeah, wow. I could barely keep up with the things that were happening there. That was an amazing aggressive push by the Danglers to shut down Silent Purge. I think Silent Purge was just sort of expecting to watch, an angle or a corridor. I don't think they expected to see four defenders rushing that
Oh my
center like that.
gosh.
And it paid off in spades for the Danglers.
Wow, that was a very strong move from them, an unexpected one at that, and it puts them up 3-1, exactly what they needed. They needed that Volk round. They've been looking good on Marsoc too, so Silent Purge are going to have to step it up here.
Yeah, and it's definitely still salvageable, but man, when you get run over like that, it messes with your mind. So I'm hoping that Silent Purge can sort of shake it off, say, you know what, that was a fluke. They won't do it again, and then they come back stronger on this defensive round.
I want to say at least you're going into the Volk advantage, but we've had so many Marsoc wins happen and on this cargo. I mean, Danglers have won 2 Marsoc rounds already. I don't know if they have the confidence going into this Volk defense here. We'll see if they can pull it out. I feel like this is a defensible objective, This is a hard one to cap on.
Yeah, and we've seen the plays on it already. This was the objective we had done.
They barely won this one.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna see a pretty interesting. Wow, a lot of smoke's coming out on that east side. We're gonna see an interesting defense on the Silent Purge side as they stack very strong on the west. Bullets coming out towards Jay as he makes that cross.
Just like we were saying last time, the defensive smokes may be working for the offense here. Stumpy has completely pushed up into this crack. UC Death does pick up Rybo. Stumpy's going to go back, grab his rifle. Now he'll be able to snapshot. A fantastic nade, grabs 2 on objective. Danglers can cap.
Stumpy confirming the kill, moving up with the shield. No cap coming out just yet, but we're going to see it here pretty shortly.
Kevin Buxton realizing the chaos. They come in. Somehow grabs him through the shield, denying the cap here. A clutch pickup. Danglers only have 1 left all of a sudden. Strajek here looking for Nintendo. He gets that. We're into a 1v1.
Executioner's still available for a revive as well as UC Death, so we could be back to a 2v2. Nintendo is rotating to get that revive, and hopefully Kev will find that same strategy for the defense as Executioner comes back up.
Gotta go now.
Yeah, he doesn't know he's on the clock. He likely doesn't know how many people are up. There was a lot of quick trades there, not likely a location. But he does need to make that pickup as quickly as possible.
Does he not know UC Death's Resible?
UC Death is on the radio, I believe, so I think that he should be aware.
The range is there available as well. I mean, shoot, he could go over there, pick up the shield, and cross that lane still and get the res.
Yeah, I think because of the aggression from the Danglers early there, he's sort of expecting them to just be right around that corner, just ready to cap, and they're not quite there yet. They did have to rotate to get that revive on Mex, and now they're sort of setting back up again for another push. But we haven't seen it yet. Now UC Death's pickup is becoming a lot more dangerous. Nintendo's got a beat on that lane. Taking a shot out, giving away his position. Kev should know where he is.
I think we're going to be on board Executioner here. He should be the one that'll find Kev or run into the action at the very least.
Yeah, and I think the clock is pretty much entirely run out on the revive opportunity for UC Death. If Kev decides to rotate here, he could get caught out by Nintendo as he starts to make that push on the east side.
He could use that smoke as well. But he's not going to do it. UC Death's dead. It's a 2v1 now. 3 minutes left, so Mex and Nintendo have all the time in the world to coordinate.
Yeah, and Kev getting a little antsy, standing up in that position. A little bit dangerous. Executioner is likely going to be looking in that corridor, but who's going to find who first? If he doesn't actually spot him around that wall, and Kev is safe for now, Nintendo's on the backside of that same corridor,
Yeah.
waiting for Kev to make a noise.
All I was going to say is if Kev gets antsy and rotates out, this is where Nintendo's going to punish him. Maybe he gets a kill on Max and goes for a rotation. He's going to go instantly down, but see how long Nintendo holds the angle. 2 minutes left now on the clock, 2:10.
I think Kev's got to be careful here. There could be a sneaky cap opportunity for Executioner if he decides to make that long rotation around that south side. He doesn't have a great view on the objective from that position. That's the real downside of that. He's hoping to catch a cross, but he's already missed Executioner's cross from that north side. Mex giving away his position though with those bullets.
I don't even think if he were to be shooting through there that those would land on that corner spot, right? Because you can't double penetrate those walls.
That's correct. Yeah, but only through a single grate, and even then, if you hit one of those I-beams that cross it, those stop the bullets as well. Very difficult to shoot through those.
My gosh, Kev, I think may have spotted Mex peeking that corner, but if Kev gets out any bit more, Nintendo may be able to find a shot. He is just sandwiched between two Danglers here.
And he's just about to become visible to that position. Kev and Executioner looking at each other. The trade take that round and the map.
And the
Holy
series.
moly.
Yeah, Danglers with the win. That was quite exhilarating.
17-second defense round night. 17-second. Wow. I mean, that was some impressive play from the Danglers to swing that map in their favor. Like we were saying, the Marsoc pressure was on. We had traded 3 Marsoc rounds prior to that. And the Danglers knew they had to do something on that defensive round, and did something they do.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean,
it was
you want to look at this whole series was a screaming fast series too. I think we got done with it almost in an hour of gameplay. 3 maps getting knocked out. 5-1 on Bazaar to Danglers. 4-0 on Quarantine for Silent Purge, and then that final map 4-1. I mean, I guess they were close, some of them, but I feel like it was just dominating performances from both teams at differing times. They just weren't able to answer back to the strong will of each squad.
Yeah, it was a very coordinated pushes on both sides. I think when the coordination broke down is when the pushes broke down, and then they weren't able to recover on those maps. But both teams put up, I mean, just the fight of the century on those first 2 maps. Blow for blow. And now in this last cargo round, I mean, the score is 4-1, but not really representative of how tight it was there for a good couple of rounds.
Yeah, I really was thinking we might have ourselves a 3-3 face-off at the end, but Danglers surprising Silent Purge and I think us with that really aggressive defensive round, and I think that's kind of what swung the momentum.
Yeah, definitely. What a great series it was.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I think that is going to be it from us this afternoon. I believe we have another game coming at you later tonight, a regular series game, Blaze versus G-Men. That should be pretty exciting. It's in a few hours here, so if you want to stop in then, feel free. Also, please tune in please stop by the vrmasterleague.com/onward site if you want to sign up or get any information. We have the Discord links, the Reddit links, YouTube, Twitch, everything's there for you. You can follow and get on board with the Onward League and join a team. You can register a team. You can sign up for a reservist role, and a lot of options there. A lot of options. I highly recommend joining me and Noman, both seasoned players in the league, and I think every caster here was or is at one point on his squad, so definitely something we recommend.
Yep, definitely come hang out with us. Community's fantastic. I want to thank everybody who came out in the Twitch to hang out with us as well. You guys are the lifeblood of this. I love seeing the clips come through. And yeah, we appreciate your time here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon.
And with that, we will be signing off. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. My co-caster Noman with a 4. That'll be it from us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.